This is Deontay from Inselbergmedia. Looks like we're about to do a short on squatting. Let me just get this out the way. I don't like anyone who misuses any law to take advantage of a situation that will ultimately do more damage to the investor or the person that gave you the opportunity than it will the government who issued the law. So, yeah, squatting, I'm completely against squatting. If we're just get that out of the way right now.
Even true tenants. Let me know what you think about this current situation. I'll see you in the comments.
This is how I stole a house in Portland, Oregon, and totally got away with it. So the first thing I did was find a vacant house that somebody was trying to rent. Next, I looked up how to break into a lockbox without using force. Thanks, YouTube. Next, I forged some documents. This made it look like I had a lease agreement, and I called the utility companies and had the utilities put in my name. I'm not going to pay them, but they don't know that. When the owner showed up, I politely explained that this was my house now, and they need to leave. So they call the police, and I show them my lease agreement and the utility bills, and they tell the owner that this is a civil matter, and they've got to sue me. This made the owner super angry, so she lawyers up and tries to evict me. Of course, I can't afford a lawyer, so I call up a tenant advocacy group who gives me a lawyer that's 100% free and funded by taxpayers. So my out-of-pocket is still $0. So this lawyer fights on my behalf for months and months, really driving the owner crazy and costing her tens of thousands of dollars. Finally, the owner decided it would be cheaper to just give me a chunk of cash to leave rather than continue paying the lawyer. So she writes me a check for $10K and I move out. I didn't even have to clean the place up, and that's a good thing because I do a lot of drugs and the house looks every bit of it. Still no thank you note for aerating the walls, but whatever. So I just got 9 months of free rent in a house that otherwise would have cost me $3,000 a month, plus a nice cash for keys check. And I wasn't even charged with anything. I always thought that stealing was wrong, but it turns out if you steal a house, it's not even against the law here. So this couldn't have worked out any better. Thanks, Portland.
We just recently about upgrading our lock system and
Listen, before this guy even gets started, let's just go back a little bit. That was pretty funny. I just want to point this out. I had a little
Charged with anything.
thought. But look at the babushka doll. Like I think that's what they're called. Look at the babushka doll of reactions. You got me reacting to the guy reacting to somebody else reacting or telling us how they stole a house. I just want to point that out.
Thing. I always thought that stealing was wrong, but it turns out if you steal a house, it's not even against the law here. So this couldn't have worked out any better. Thanks, Portland.
we just recently about upgrading our lock system into, instead of lockbox systems, keypad systems. But still, this probably is preventable on a lot of the front end that you could do as a landlord. I don't think this is fair at all. In fact, this is the number one reason why I don't invest in these non-landlord friendly states. Just for this, one of the main reasons is the easier laws to evict somebody if they're problem tenants or if they're not even true tenants. Let me know what you think about this current situation. I'll see you in the comments.
Yeah, that's crazy. This was gonna be my response. I'm glad he said it. That all this will do is just remove investment from those communities. Anywhere where they're gonna have squatters laws protecting not protecting the people who own the property, but allowing for people to come in and misuse a squatter law. These will lose significant amounts of investment from our generation. Now, what it will come in is the Black Rocks and the big corporations will be able to do this, and they simply will be able to get you out because they have the money to pay for it. Now, it's still going to cost them, money that they shouldn't have to spend, but it won't hurt them as bad as an investor, like a local investor like this guy. The best thing he can do is take all his properties, sell them, obviously for a loss or for profit, whatever that is, deal with the taxes issues that come with that, transfer all that money into other properties into states where they do protect you, or states where they look like they're trying to protect you, or they're moving in that direction. I don't actually have any states on hand, but I can think of right now in Michigan, the squatter laws are a thing. We always see videos from London about it. So it's not just an America problem. This is around the world. I understand why they were put in place because people were like, of course, man, I understand why they put in place, but today we have other forms of lease agreements and like other ways to verify that someone is actually living here and supposed to live here if your landlord is actually trying to kick you out unfairly. And that is what squatting laws were meant to do. You couldn't just take someone's money, let them move in for a few months, and then sign somebody else to the same lease for more money and then be like, hey, I need you to move out. You can still do that, but you have to do it the legal way. You got to give the person enough time to leave. It's basically like you have to give them a full notice to get out. And from that process, if you did it incorrectly, then they can squat and say, well, you didn't give me enough time to leave, or you made this harder for me. Like, these are better arguments than just simply breaking into someone's house, recording the entire thing. I don't even know if that's real. I hope that's fake. But even if he was just showing you how to do it, people are absolutely doing this. And I remember right before the election, this was a big thing that they were pumping up all around the West Coast. So it's just sad to see it's still going on. Sad to see this hasn't changed. The investors are not being protected in this situation, and all it's going to do is have divestment from these communities. And I hate to say it, they're usually low income communities, maybe not black communities, but there'll be low income communities that will continue to desolate themselves because nobody wants to reinvest in them. No restaurants want to come and open up there. No road work will be done because there's no property taxes. The schools are going to close down because there's no property taxes. So it's an endless cycle to go down the drain, basically, from these types of policies, pushing away investors from the community. So that's all I got to give on this. Hopefully they do change the laws in Oregon. Then again, I don't care. It's a state I don't even care to visit. So let me know what you guys think of the content. Are you visiting Oregon? Are you investing in Oregon? Let me know in the comments. But I will not be. Please like, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll be here for the next video. I'll see you guys then.